Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where advertising is good, ignorance is expensive, and the American dream is alive and well on the internet. Today, we are coming to you live from a beautiful, undisclosed place in the hills of Austin, Texas. We're being brought to you by Incense and Seguno and Postscript and AMP, and we have a jam-packed show for you today, this Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. OpenAI's AirPod killers have been seen in real life. Don't lie to us, Sam Altman and Joni Ive. We know what's going on. There's an expert unfolding of what I like to fondly refer to as a conspiracy theory marketing campaign being played out in real life. We're talking about it, and the internet is going to blow them up while they deny. We're going to dive into it. Meta's new Invoicing is beginning to roll out officially, and founders are getting the unfortunate emails that their credit card points will forever be resting in peace. We're going to see how people are talking about it on the timeline. And is icon.com still billing you? Some people may be. Is worth looking into. We're going to dive into it all. Andrew Gazdecki, founder of Acquire.com, will be joining us on the show today. In addition to Noah Friedman, co-founder of Outer Signal, we're going to be diving into what it looks like to sell your business in 2026 and how much can we gain from this new era of customer intelligence. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here, sir. Get inside of here.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Colin, I think you fondly remember what happened around the Super Bowl period. OpenAI's dime ad, the AirPod killer, it leaked. Was it from the inside or was it from the outside or was it on purpose? It's hard to say. Featured Alexander Skarsgård behind the earbuds, and everybody was wondering. Looked like it had a lot of production value behind it as well. And now everyone's been wondering, hey, is this a hoax? OpenAI is denying it, but they have been seen IRL. And my guess, my take, we need to look at the tweets, but my take is that this is a conspiracy theory marketing campaign that is being expertly rolled out in front of us. This tweet comes to us from Matthew Berman, okay? And Conspiracy Corner, this is actually the Joni Ive OpenAI device. Okay, he's showing it here. But what's actually important, we all remember this part. What's important is what he is quote tweeting underneath it. CDO, Chief Design Officer of America, Joe Gebbia, was caught IRL at a coffee shop wearing the device. Okay. And this is a video. We need to see. Yeah. See, zoom in there. You can see he's got the antennas pointing out of his ears, which were so markedly shown to us in the commercial. And this actually has video behind it. You can see him twist his head. You can see all of it take place. And so there's a little more that has been unfolded to us. Obviously, this guy's a big dog. He's working in the administration. I think he may have been at Uber or something else before this. He's a big dog, and he's got access to the thing itself. If it was not being leaked, if it was not real, if the dime did not exist, methinks he would not have it. Trung Fan had this to say when it came to tweets. Go to our next one here. Trung had this to say. I'm going to read it for everyone here. A sighting of Joni Ives' hardware device from the leaked Super Bowl OpenAI ad that they denied was real. In hindsight, getting someone as on the nose as Lucas Matson, Alexander Skarsgård, from Succession to do a hoax ad made no sense. I was at Apple when those iPhone leaks drove so much interest. Feels like some top tier guerrilla marketing. Okay, I think that is what's happening here, and it's all purposeful. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Mr. Gebbia is the man who was conspicuously seen in a coffee shop wearing said devices that are supposed to kill the AirPods. What are your thoughts on this? Is it too much, or is there a big brain behind all of this?
Gosh, I go back and forth on this story like every day because it is on one side, you're thinking like, Skarsgård, he's involved. Surely he can talk about it. He can't talk about it. They approached him. He's like, I can't talk about who the company was. All right, that's kind of weird. Okay, somebody gets spotted in SF using it. SF is the tech hub of the world. Okay, that's kind of weird too. Ivy's been around for all the iPhone leaks. I don't know what to make of this story. Like, it feels like they're kind of teasing us, but I can't tell if it's intentional or just they're really bad at secrets. And it's like, I honestly, I cannot tell. This is one of the times where I'm like, I have no idea what is going to go on with this. They might release this next week. I don't know. I have no idea. And it is such a confusing story because we have no idea even what the product does. We kind of have an idea, but we really don't.
My guess is that this is one of their big bets, that the next $1 trillion whatever interface for human and technology is going to be getting right what Apple proposed long ago. Screen-free, voice enabled, voice driven. You put these antennas inside of your ears and you don't have Siri clunkily not doing whatever you wanted it to do. You have an expert who's even smarter than you helping you navigate the real world in real time. That is my guess. That's my guess. And obviously, AirPods have done really well, even with Siri not holding up to its promise. I don't know that this is the next $1 trillion interface. I want the glasses. I mean, I think Zuck's glasses are where this probably ends up going rather than just a cooler, more efficient, more intelligent set of earpods. But I think all of this is totally purposeful. I think this is Joni Ive sitting back and, doing what he does best, creating something stunning, beautiful.
Sitting back.
He's sitting back and he's pulling a Mr. Burns and he's, stroking the fingers and everything is working. A little bit gets leaked. The internet talks about it, deny, which only just stirs the fervor even more. And now we've got Chief Design Officer of America seen inside a hip coffee shop wearing them. They do exist. Okay. I think that this is totally planned and everything is going exactly as he wants it to. That's my take. I think Joni Ive behind all of this and making it go up and to the right.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on this. The issue is we'll never find out because they'll never admit this, I think.
No.
And so I think you're probably right, but it's just kind of one of those like, who's going to get leaked next with it on? It's like the Kardashians. Kim K is wearing it accidentally in an Instagram story. And it's like, oh, okay.
I think there's something to take away here for anybody who works in marketing, of course, but especially if you are a driver or leader of culture, of product development in whatever niche you are.
Yeah.
If you are the leader or one of the leaders in some said space, being able to leak a little juicy information, this was always like a big no-no in the past when I've worked inside a brand. It's always like, don't get it out there. Don't actually, though, that is what you want. You do want it to get out there. If a creator that you're working with that has a lot of value and cultural significance inside of your space, if they were to accidentally leak said thing and it drives a lot of conversation inside of your niche or inside of your community, actually that is what you want before the thing actually launches. That only drives up the fire and the hunger for whatever that thing is. And I like this. I like that they're denying it.
Yeah.
Probably what's going to happen, I don't know if it's Sam or if it's Joni, but at some point this thing is going to come out and they probably won't reference any of that at all. They'll just pretend like it didn't exist and everybody will be rolling out their $300 to $500 or however much it costs. I mean, maybe it'll cost even more. How much do AirPods cost?
Like $200-300, but the form factor for these is just a little weird right now. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. The form factor is still a little weird for me.
Yeah, the antennas.
The antennas. It's just like, okay, I guess I'm pulling it out. I don't know.
It feels like I'm inside of a Jetsons episode. Is
Yeah.
what it feels like with the antennas.
Maybe the quality's super amazing and I'll just forget about it.
If it's Joni, which I believe it is, surely this dime, the package, the chrome, all of it, I mean, I'm sure it's got to feel magical. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it will command many hundreds of dollars, one would think. Before our good friend Andrew comes on the show here, we should talk about our newest sponsor. And I am talking about Incense. That's who I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We all want better ads, don't we? We do. And we want humans in, not just in the loop, but driving the thing on screen. We want ads that allow us to grow. If we're being honest, that process is really disjointed, isn't it? It is. Chasing creators here, chasing UGC there, manually getting usage rights, all of that. Incense is the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform that actually makes creative scalable all in one shot. You get a vetted creator marketplace, automated influencer outreach, built-in campaign management, content delivered in as little as 14 days. This is far beyond just finding a random TikTok that you hope you can negotiate rights for and will maybe put a little profit back in your pocket. And I'll say this, if you don't have an in-house team with enough bandwidth to manage a creator program and begin to grow this thing for you, the good news is that Incense can handle that. They have a managed service, service plus software. We see that come out a lot. Go to incense.pro and book a demo. The good news is you can try this thing gratis for free today. Start scaling creator content. Make something that actually moves the needle. Many thanks for Incense being part of the show. Now, we have a very crucial knower of ball and enabler of what I would call the American dream in 2026. I'm talking about Acquire.com's founder. Acquire.com is the largest startup acquisition marketplace on planet Earth. Helped over 2,000 founders get acquired, sell their business, over $500 million in closed transactions. Over 500,000 people in registered buyers on the platform. We need him in here. Andrew, founder of Acquire.com, get inside this show, sir. We need you in here. Yeah.
I know. I appreciate it.
Brother, this conversation has been a long time coming. I have known you on the internet since this thing was micro Acquire. And now, we've gotten here, you've got such an official domain and name, and you guys have been helping founders get from A to Z. And here's my take, Andrew. Of course, what you've built is incredible, but I don't think enough people know the processes and things you have in place to help founders navigate this kind of unknown, murky process
Yeah.
that so many want to get to. I would appreciate just starting out here. Give us some perspective on all you guys do with education, all you guys do with being reachable to help founders kind of navigate this unknowable process unless you've done it before.
Yeah, definitely. When I started Acquire, I previously sold a business of my own, and going through that process was super confusing. It was pretty opaque. Felt like a lot of the stuff was kind of held behind gatekeepers. So one of the main things I always wanted to do was build a company that made something that a lot of people don't know about, really easy to understand. So we do everything. We do webinars. We create a lot of content on our blog. We write about every single topic you could think of for acquisitions. We have a podcast where we interview other founders that have sold. We ask them about pitfalls or hiccups just to get an understanding of what it was really like. And we do like 10 other things beyond that. But a big part is just educating, because acquisitions are hard. And if you go through the process and make mistakes, those mistakes can be super costly. And so anything we can do to reduce those mistakes, we try to do.
Wow. What are you seeing right now on the platform as far as e-commerce acquisitions, the attributes that make up those companies, or kind of like this through line that you're seeing that is kind of synonymous with those?
Yeah, I'd say a big one is being realistic on valuations. So we're seeing e-commerce businesses sell between 2 to 4 times net profit. Businesses that aren't selling are ones where, let's say there's a lot of inventory just kind of sitting over. There's no clear demand from customers. E-commerce businesses that get like a ton of offers, and we've been selling a lot of these, are ones with recurring revenue models. We had one just today that was like a niche coffee brand sell. That was pretty cool. But anything that has recurring is kind of the way to go right now with some of the acquisitions we're seeing.
Let's go.
I love that you walked through some of the math there, Andrew, because obviously when I started in 2014, ecom was in a different place. And then, we had the hot period of 2020, 2019, et cetera, just afterward. And I still know several of my friends who have successful businesses. They may be just into 8 figures, or they may be, mid to high 7 figures. And they're still hoping for, some kind of 10x, et cetera, from days gone by. Do you ever experience people coming in expecting one number and then seeing reality, and then just helping them through that? Do you ever experience that on your side?
Yeah, that's literally like 90% of what we do. Like everyone has a friend that sold for like 5 times revenue or something like that.
Yeah.
And businesses do sell for, astronomical multiples. But those are generally outliers, and it's not the norm of what most businesses sell for. So a big part of what we do at Acquire is just resetting expectations, giving them a realistic view into what they could potentially sell for. And a lot of times it's still life-changing. It's just different from, maybe what you might hear about in a big headline or something like that. And then, we no longer have like the Thrashios or, some of the big roll-up brands, and, where a lot of, important metrics don't matter. So it's kind of been like a reset to reality, so to speak.
Yeah.
So on the platform, there's not just e-commerce. I know we're just talking about e-commerce. There's also software. There's also newsletters. Are you seeing a specific business niche on the platform that is kind of exploding? And, how are people, or how should people be building into that?
I'd say newsletters is a big one that we've been seeing. Yeah, we see a lot of, software companies, agencies, even e-commerce brands acquiring newsletters if the audience matches. But yeah, the majority of our business is software. We do a lot of agencies as well, and then obviously e-commerce. But newsletter is a new category that I've been super excited about.
Nice.
That is compelling to me, because newsletters, in my mind, it's still something that's budding, that somebody can have a obviously be fully employed in and have a good small business in. But I have never thought that much of newsletters being an acquirable category? I know of some, kind of top end examples, but you're seeing more and more of this, and even people on the e-commerce side acquiring newsletters if the audience fits, etc.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some of the newsletter businesses that we see are incredibly profitable.
Wow.
Doing hundreds of thousands. We've seen a few doing millions in profit per year. So they're legit businesses. Just the operations behind them are a lot simpler than, say, e-commerce business or software company. And that's why they're so attractive is, they're generally they have much less moving parts than other types of businesses.
That's a good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
It is.
Probably
Yeah.
lower headcount too.
Yeah. Are you seeing any specific niche within newsletter break out a lot? I think a lot of people always talk about, finance for YouTube is a really big one because the CPA is always so high. But is there a specific category in the newsletter space where you're like, this is huge?
We see it kind of everywhere. It really is going to come down to the profitability of the newsletter. But we see a lot in like tech, AI. We've seen some around like pets. We've seen some around travel that have been doing really well. So I guess, if I had to, describe my like ideal example of a newsletter, it'd probably be like a specific niche that's attractive and has, businesses that are, really active in that space. So just, pets as an example. And that audience is super engaged and the business is profitable.
Got it.
Andrew, talk to me about the agency side. I bring this up, of course. I've played on every side of our industry in e-commerce. I've got friends, brand owners. I've got friends, agency owners, operators, everywhere. A lot of times, the common trope is, well, if you're going to sell a service business, if you're going to sell an agency, not a great multiple. Not going to be life-changing. You got to hold on to the thing forever. Or, there's just a lot of common tropes like that. Taylor Holiday over at CTC, they just recently had an exit, got acquired. And he has often said, actually, if you can be tech forward, if there's a few things that you can combine there, actually, you may get a better exit than being on the brand side. You have any perspective on that for what you see happening at agency side inside of Acquire?
Yeah, a big one is productizing services. Like we helped a design company recently sell, and they had a productized design service where you pay like $4,000 a month and you get unlimited designs. I guess like the theme would be anything you can do to make your revenue more predictable. Like in e-commerce, you have subscriptions for certain types of products. Those businesses are great. Same thing for agencies, where if you have a service where maybe you're commonly doing that same service, but you're pricing it individually per customer, try productizing it and have a recurring model.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've backed into this with my good friend here, Chris, a ton, that I think subscription is the future of
he's always beating this drum.
Always. I'm always about it. I'm glad you're bringing the data to support me.
Yeah, if your goal is to sell, I mean, I think on the data side, we obviously see more acquisitions for recurring or subscription revenue businesses. But the sheer number of offers that we see, I think, is the most compelling part. Where if we take a business to market, let's say it's an agency or e-commerce business, we'll see maybe like 2-3 offers at most. But if it has a recurring revenue part of the business, we'll see like 10 plus. Like the sheer demand from buyers for businesses like that, it's uncomparable to other business types.
That is significant.
100%. Yeah. Like if it's some of the key advice that we give to, a lot of founders when we meet, if they don't have a recurring component in the business, to see if they could potentially model one out, or if there's any opportunities where they can add one. Just depending on if they're looking to sell immediately or if they have like, 12 months that they can, retool the business. Because if they do successfully, the outcome is significant, because that's how you really get the higher multiples too. Like when you hear businesses selling for outsized multiples, the way that you get there is you have multiple buyers bidding up the price, and if you only have like 1 or 2 offers, it's really hard to get the maximum valuation.
Do you have any businesses right now you're looking at in e-commerce where you're kind of seeing it from afar, where you'd say, hey, this is a really great business, I would love for them to go through and eventually sell and acquire, where you're kind of looking at them, you've seen them scale for the past couple of years and you're like, come on over, time to sell, let's go?
I thought the coffee brand that we helped sell was pretty cool. I love coffee and I feel like I understand that product. I got a buddy that I keep in touch with quite a bit. He has like these little pods that you put into laundry, and it makes your clothes smell really good.
Yeah.
The business is growing like crazy. I think that's a cool company.
Yeah.
I think anything that kind of is involved in pets seems to do really well. There's a few that we meet with from time to time in that space. And then some others is, just soap and stuff you use daily at home. I think those are great businesses. But I think for me, anything that's, really profitable and growing a lot, I think is super interesting.
Well, what I love about what your marketplace enables is I have so many friends that they've had successful e-commerce businesses. They want to practically get to a sale someday. They have zero clue, literally zero clue how to actually get an offer. Like, who would I talk to? Is it somebody in my network? Like, how is this thing going to actually happen? What I love is that you've got all these stories about people even getting 2 offers. That is awesome. That's much better than 0.
Yeah.
Give me perspective on when people come to you and they're like, hey, we want a list to sell, etc. What are common pitfalls? What negates somebody like, hey, this is not for you, not for now? Is there anything that people experience coming in the door that are regular and usual and come up again and again when you're helping people sell?
Yeah, I'd say number one is having clean financials. So having a P&L broken out with, revenue, expenses. I know it sounds pretty basic, but it's essentially a requirement from a lot of buyers, and they can't evaluate the business properly without that. Documenting processes, SOPs, if you have them, that's another big one. Thinking through transition, if you can stay in the business, what sort of support will you provide once the deal closes? Anything you can do to just lower the risk on the acquisition to buyers. And then just expectations, like having realistic valuation expectations is huge. If you go to market and you're expecting like a massive multiple that's higher than what your business is worth, it just puts buyers off quickly. So those are probably the big ones.
Wow.
I'd love your thoughts on the SaaS side of the world. We end up talking about AI every day simply because e-commerce is, I would call it tech adjacent. It's enabled by tech. It's anything that's happening there directly affects everything going on over here. And there's been a lot of chatter, sometimes it's on the happier side, sometimes it's on the doomer side. SaaS is going away and all these things. I don't necessarily think that. I really think that the enablements of AI are going to allow the clear winners in our space to only get better and do more. That's kind of my thought. But give me your perspective with Claude and everything that's happening with Codex and all of the things. Is SaaS going away? I mean, I would imagine you see software getting bought every day, I would imagine. But what's your perspective on that world?
Yeah, I think there's multiple sides to our marketplace. Like one side I think is going to be heavily impacted by AI is going to be like the really tiny software projects. Let's say it's doing because some of the businesses we help are really small. I'm talking like $500 in revenue per year, just a handful of users, stuff like that. I think those are in for an interesting period, because if you can just vibe code something and it's faster to get that platform out than acquiring it from the founder, I think that makes a lot more sense. We still see a lot of activity there, but I think that's where most of the impact is going to go. But on the businesses that are doing hundreds of thousands or say millions of revenue, we've actually seen more interest. Wow. So that side has grown and the smaller side has declined. And my guess, I've kind of stayed away from having like strong opinions on this because I just don't know. I see both sides were like, yeah, AI is going to take away SaaS and everything completely, and then the other side where some truth is probably in the middle. But what I'm getting at saying is, I think with AI, it's made things a lot easier to build, obviously, but I think the hard part of building the business is still in place, and I think that's just become more obvious. So for a lot of the buyers that we work with, they're looking to acquire product market fit, profitability of a business, and you unfortunately can't just prompt like, hey, let me get a SaaS business. It's doing like hundreds of thousands in revenue. If that ever changes, I think, my opinion might shift. But again, like the pre-revenue stuff, I think is completely toast. And then the upper companies and businesses with, meaningful revenue, meaningful customers, there appears to be just more demand than ever for those.
Wow.
That's a really interesting perspective. I love
Do
to
you
hear
think,
that.
kind of how you're thinking about this? Is there a business, you're seeing it from afar a little bit, where you're focused on acquire exclusively. If you see some businesses and you're like, gosh, I wish someone would be building this right now because it could get acquired in 2 years, 3 years from now for an insane multiple. I really wish someone would do this because this is just a blue ocean. Are you seeing anything specifically?
That's an interesting question. I see a lot of really cool companies every single
Yeah.
day. I saw this really interesting business that was like a marketplace to rent NVIDIA GPU chips. That was cool.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. They actually got quite a few offers on the business and sold earlier last year. I think that's obviously a sick business.
Yeah.
But I think anything with like network effects, like a lot of interesting mobile apps have been coming in to acquire,
Yeah.
which is, in my opinion, pretty easy to maintain and operate. But these businesses are doing, hundreds of thousands in revenue with just one founder. So I'd say something along that lines. I always like simple, profitable businesses, and that seems to be an interesting area I've seen increase.
Yeah.
simplicity is mastery.
I would
Tell
agree.
me, tell me about this, Andrew. Man, I know you guys have been doing a lot, and you're only going to continue to develop. Man, what excites you about 2026? What do you guys have on your roadmap? What are things that get you excited when you get out of bed and you look forward to bringing into the world when it comes to helping founders here and what you do with Acquire?
Yeah, I would say, just getting to be a part of that moment with founders when they're popping champagne and celebrating, it's a pretty cool job.
Yeah,
So,
it is. Yeah.
like I was on a FaceTime call with a founder, and he was signing the asset purchase agreement. He had, his family with him, and I got to be a part of that. That's what fires me up. In terms of like the roadmap, we've been working on a cool analytics product that, you connect Stripe and you get a valuation of what your company's worth. And as you grow or, customers churn, the valuation adjusts. But what fires me up is just continuing to do what we do and how founders get acquired.
I
That's
love it.
incredible. That's incredible. Colin, before Andrew gets out of here, I want to make sure that we get all the information out where people should go, follow, start talking to his team, etc. Anything else on your doc we should hit before we let our man go?
No, I really do think you guys are doing an incredible job, and obviously, I've used the software personally to get acquired, and I cannot emphasize how mind-boggling scary it was before I used Acquire, and how just crazy confused I was going everywhere. And then I went through Acquire, and it was a very simple process. So if anyone is actually thinking about, going through this process, I would really recommend it. It's truly unbelievable.
Well,
Appreciate that.
I wish that this had existed in 2016.
Yeah.
My first little coffee business. We were looking to sell it, and then we didn't know who to talk to. We just started reaching out to other people, and then it got murky, and then they wanted to call it partnering, and it was a
Yeah.
strange thing, and we had a nice little payday from that, but I think if you guys had existed back then, it would have been a lot easier for us. I see what you guys are doing as an absolute net good for everybody in our space, and an enablement to really live out what we all want, which is to have a successful business, get a nice payday, and ride off into the sunset in whatever manner is fitting. Andrew, before you go, man, tell us, where can people find you? How can they start the process for getting inside of the marketplace and selling? Just give us all the details on that, if you would.
Yeah. Just go to acquire.com. You can click, join now as a buyer or seller and submit your business. Or if you're a buyer, you can sign up. We have over 2,000 listings to check out.
Wow. Awesome. We appreciate you, my man, and we look forward to talking with you again.
Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. Wow.
Sweet.
This is great.
You. huge. I can't emphasize how scary that process is, and they just make it so much easier.
You know, Andrew's got such a like calm like presence about
Oh
him.
yeah,
You
he's
know?
very California. You know what I mean?
Is he? Is he? I
Yeah.
mean, is he from California?
I don't know.
He's got a very cool and calming
Cool.
presence about him.
That's kind of what you want for an acquisition, though. You
I
don't
think-
want chaos.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what you want. Yeah, when I was digging into this, it's just catching up on all that they're doing. What really impressed me is how much they do on the front end of actually hand holding the founder through this experience. Scary, murky place. Well, you
Super
know,
scary.
what am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? And you know, I think at first blush, when you hear marketplace, is like, okay, well, like I guess I just put up my info and hope somebody gives me a life-changing offer. You know,
Yeah.
to have him, their education, they've even got courses.
Mhm.
I think they've got tech around, you know, really defending your financials and making them solid and sure and dependable. I think all of that, it just greatly helps people actually get to the goal where they want to go, place where
Absolutely.
they want to head.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super important. The education piece of this is super important. But once you go through it, you are so much better of a person because you have that knowledge now and you can just do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate him and what he does, and many thanks for him coming on the show. Before we move forward and hit our next story and have our next guest, let's talk about Postscript. Ladies and gentlemen, focus is an amazing thing. When you obsess over one thing for many years, you get outsized results. That's what happens when people make the switch to Postscript for SMS marketing. On average, plus 22% in revenue when people make the switch. And I know you've got some kind of solution right now where it does 6 or 7 or 8 odd different things all together, and it's nice because it's convenient, and that kind of higgledy-piggledy conflagration of things doing that all together, what it gets you is higgledy-piggledy results. Now, I have to say, I did not get plus 22% revenue increase when I made the switch to Postscript. I got a lot more. We went from making like no money on SMS to being a top 1% account on their entire platform inside of a year. We did that simply because I did what they told me to do. If you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, you're going to get clear data on my vertical, my revenue band, what's normal for us to be doing on SMS. How can we get up and to the right? If you work with Postscript, they will get you there. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Go talk to them. Tell them Colin I sent you. Before our good friend Noah comes inside of this show, Colin, I want to hit on our next story. I'm talking about meta invoicing here, Carson. Oof. It is true. Okay, we reported about this a few days ago that people were not going to be allowed to use their credit cards anymore for ad spend, which means all the credit card points are dead and gone. And operators and founders are mourning. Rock Hladnik tweeted this yesterday. This is the email. He has obscured some of the information, but monthly invoicing will be required soon. There's an important change beginning April 1st, 2026. Someone with full control of accounts needs to switch to monthly invoicing before April 1st, et cetera, et cetera. See who has access. Mitab Bogle of Carta Ventures had this to say: for 79.7% of DTC brands, this is the line between profitability or not. The number is a joke, but to be honest, it's close. Laugh out loud. I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, just switching on everybody all in one shot, all in one quarter, it's a little bit, I mean, and really just like, I guess we got 30 days head notice here.
Yeah.
About 30 days. Not easy on everybody. Not easy. I think there's really something to what he's saying. And then Ron Ecom had this to say, which I really appreciated. It's real. This is the worst news I have received this year. And then he tweeted a particular 4-letter word many times afterward. And then David Herman, he had an interesting email that came his way. Action required. It says, you can't see it in the graphic here, but it says switch to monthly invoicing by 1970 is what it says. I don't know how he got that email, but maybe we'd all be better off if we somehow had to go back in time and switch and make the switch. Colin, what's your take on this? I think it's horrible. I wish that we could all have our credit card points up and to the right forever. Profitability for D2C brands is already hard.
Yeah.
Only getting harder. Switching up on everything related to and how you pay your monthly bills, how that operates, your financials, your P&L, not an easy move for everyone to make.
No, that margin just got a little bit smaller, which is not fun. And it's funny because I think you said this a couple years ago to me, where you were saying, I'd love to just have a print-on-demand store that basically operates at break even, just so I could keep getting credit card points.
Exactly.
And you said it to me, and I was like, that's the funniest thing ever because it's so true. You get a ton of credit card points. You basically get 4 to 5x credit card points on your Meta ad spend. Sometimes would have been your Google ad spend, but they switched over as well. That can really turn into a lot of bucks as you start to scale up the business pretty aggressively. We talked about previously, vacations were covered, hotels are covered, flights are covered. You can do upgrades. You can do all these different things. It is a bit of a net negative for the community, unfortunately. But I think, you have to push through. You kind of have to deal with the tailwinds. And instead of this, you should be investing your time into Whatnot.
Hey, I'll take that. I do. I mean, Corey Dobbin, who is a continual advocate of, moving one's marketing dollars and energy outside of Meta alone. He was a big proponent here of coming to the other side and finding some other places to allocate one's dollars and energy. I think Whatnot's a great place to put a little energy and time. Jason Applebaum, you don't have this tweet, I don't think, Carson, but I wanted to bring this up because he made an interesting point. There was a lot of talk about, hey, this is actually a good thing, this reason, that reason, etc. Jason had this to say. He said the black hatters, people who do no shipping. Okay. That's where you order and they just commit fraud. Okay. They don't send you anything.
Yeah.
He said the black hatters are rejoicing at this development when it comes to Meta. He said they're doing backflips of joy with how much they are about to scam Facebook by not paying credit lines and running up giant tabs on stolen identities and hacked accounts. This is by far the worst thing to happen. And at one of the times for real D2C operators, it's by far one of the worst things to happen for real D2C operators at the worst time. His take is this: come this time next year, CPMs will be even worse. So Zuck can get back all the money he lost in an effort to save 2% on credit card fees. So he's got multiple lines here in what will be the network effects thereafter. Ads more expensive. Zuck's going to try and get back all that credit card money that he has lost. And on the fraud side, black hatters will only rejoice and be running up large bills on stolen accounts, etc. That's not good. We definitely don't want to see that.
That's terrible. I haven't even thought of that angle where you could go down that. And I guess I don't even know who's going to refund you, or I don't think Meta's going to take your side with that. It'd be really hard for them to take your case with that. That's a really rough situation.
Rough situation indeed.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how it develops, but nevertheless, a time of mourning for everyone inside of our industry. We'll see how we end up navigating it. In addition, and in this vein of billing, apparently some people are still getting billed for icon.com.
Oh,
did you see this tweet yesterday, Carson? Why don't you show us this tweet? This comes to us from @DuBorges. Eduardo Borges, he says, remember icon.com? After paying $12 million for the domain, going bankrupt, and taking their site offline, they are still running a huge rebuild fraud on accounts that signed up for their free trial. If you ever use their SaaS, go check your credit cards. Now, I want to be careful and gracious with this. I don't know that there's some kind of mass fraud scheme at play here. Obviously, Eduardo is unhappy about him still being charged for something that is not usable. When I go to icon.com today, I still can't get in. Yep. So, I mean, it seems that they have shut down. But I will say, I mean, Kenneth, it's not his first rodeo. I mean, the guy helped start Skio. I think he's a genuine good guy, good operator. Like we've talked about before, I think they were early, about a year early, it seems, when it comes to ad creative development with AI, et cetera. But you hate to see this. And I think it's important to bring up here, because if you are still getting charged, then it is time to go and check the credit card statement and somehow get that nullified. Nobody wants to be continually charged for something that is inoperable and unable to be used.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard from Kenyon in a while on any social media, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or anything. I think this is a good opportunity for us. We need to get him on the show.
Come on the show.
We need to have him set the record straight. We have to have him figure out, hey, what's going on here? What can people expect? What are we shifting to? What are we pivoting to?
Yeah.
Come on the show, man. Come on the show. Let's talk about this.
Come on the show. And I'll say this. I think he's I talked to him before. Yeah. I think he's a great guy who's done some incredible things inside of business. Don't know him personally, but I think he's done some very interesting, compelling things inside of our space.
Yeah.
And I think he was early. I think he was early on what could have been an incredible company, and maybe it's not over yet. We'll see. Come on the show. We should talk to him. Now,
there you go.
We should talk now with an incredible operator inside of our space who is doing something I would consider him co-founder of one of the most exciting developments in customer intelligence inside of e-commerce. And if you listen, you can hear operators all across our space talking about it positively again and again and again. Your customers know you, but do you know your customers? Do you know your customers, and how well do you know them? How enriched is that data, and what can you actionably do with it as a result? I am talking about Outer Signal and co-founder Noah Friedman. Noah, get inside this show. We need you in here, brother. Come on, Noah.
What an intro. Wow. I'm fired up. I'm ready to run through a brick wall from
All right. That's right. You're ready to run through that fence behind you there.
Yeah, I mean, whatever virtual background Tom Cowboy gave me, I'm ready to run through it, man.
Let's go.
Awesome, man. Well, Noah, I think you tell me right or wrong. Tell me right or wrong, but I think the thesis on this is true, that all of us inside of e-commerce were really kind of flying blind. And if LeBron James or a crucial buyer at Target that I want to get my product into, or grandma down the street, if they order something from my business, they're all getting the same communication. They're going to get that, hey, thank you email. They're going to go into the same regular old flows, etc. Man, I don't think that's best. I don't think that's best. There's a huge opportunity that you guys seem to be capitalizing on. Give us perspective on, man, all Outer Signal does and how it's changing the game for knowing your customer and what people can do with that juicy information you guys are able to generate and enrich for them.
I think you nailed it, man. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I think you nailed it, man. Like, the reality is, Meta has built this $1 trillion empire by personalizing your guys' Instagram feeds to look different than my Instagram feed, to look different than the Instagram feeds of everybody who's watching and will ever watch this, right? And the people who pay those bills are are all the brands that spend money to get in front of customers, and they shake the trees, they put out all this amazing content, and largely based on the way Meta's algorithms evolve, you have to kind of play the lowest common denominator to say, what ads can I put out there going to resonate with everybody?
Yeah.
Spend the money, you get a consumer to fall onto your website, it's compelling enough to get them to check out, they buy, they join your family, they have given you their credit card, their information, they bought the product, it's in your home, and it's just a name and an email.
Oh,
So
hurts.
whether that
Maybe a phone number.
Ron James, whether that person's a senior buyer at Target, or whether it's any human at all, the reality is everybody is largely getting one-dimensional, monolithic communications that are one to many, when in the reality is we are all different people.
Yeah.
And the example I like to give is like, yes, if Kim Kardashian orders from a business, the brand should know about it. That's a true story. We had that happen with one of our customers. I don't like to say favorites because we don't play favorites, but maybe we're but it's the same outcome as like, you know, Noah and my mother, true story, both buy from the same protein business, right? Yeah. And we get, now we don't because they're an outer circle customer, but we used to get the same email where like the email that is going to resonate with 31-year-old Noah who likes to lift weights and drinks protein for a very different reason should be about getting jacked and staying fit and getting high performance and longevity. And my mother should be about aging gracefully. And we both get the same email of like a jacked woman in the gym. It's like, that doesn't help anybody.
True.
And it's all from the same issue and the same root cause that all of these businesses really don't know who their customers are, which is this ridiculous paradigm to think we've fallen into, but it's just the like, everybody's accepted it as root truth because that's the way that it's always been. And we don't stand for that here at Outer Circle.
Let's go, baby.
I love that.
We feel strongly we need to fix that.
I love it. Could you, I mean, you just shared the Kim Kardashian story. Could you share any other kind of aha moments that your customers have had? I think this is really important, where the sooner you get the customer of Outer Signal to have that aha moment where they go, oh my gosh, I can't believe XYZ person is on this. I didn't even know. Could you share a couple of those stories where it's just mind-blowing to your customers?
Well, look, the reality is there's probably one happening right now with someone from our sales team taking a demo with a customer. But what tends to happen is the following. And if you are an e-commerce operator listening to me talk right now, I hope you'll believe me and try this out. But you turn on Outer Signal, you install it. We by default will give you a free trial of your first 500 customers anyway. But the second that you activate, within a few minutes, you're starting to see a page populate with comprehensive profiles on every single one of your customers, right? In Shopify, the before, I know that Noah Friedman bought. I know he lives in Brooklyn. I know his email. I don't know anything about him. In Outer Signal, you get age, gender, occupation, property value, social following, what they care about, notable interests, where they went to school, all these things. And so these aha moments happen literally 20 times a day across our sales organization. And frankly, with people that are self-signing up and doing it themselves, where the second they turn it on, it's like you've taken the veil off of your customer base to say, oh my God, I get dings on Shopify all day for new orders. Who the heck are these people? And so the aha moments that happen, number one, are just like to be able to see in Shopify, hey, Noah Friedman just bought, that's cool, I got an order. To be able to see an Outer Signal, Noah's a 31-year-old tech founder and fund manager who lives in this house and he's influential in these ways and he could be valuable to you and he's got a social file. It's like, oh my God, that's crazy. And so for every one of these businesses who signs up and installs, there tends to be a moment literally within the first couple minutes of installing where they're like, wait, hold on a second. You're telling me XYZ or investor XYZ or influential person, VIP, however this company wants to define it, has been a customer of mine and I didn't know about it? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. So the punchline, man, is that this stuff happens all day for us. It's really, really cool and gratifying to see, you know, these businesses that have spent so much blood, sweat, and tears getting people to give enough of a crap about the company to buy the thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's total nonsense that they don't know who they are.
Wow. So I love that. And I love the aha moment that comes from that. And what you're saying here so quickly, it's just, hey, we're getting 500 customers. And then, you know, they start rolling in. Now I talk, and I want you to frame this up because I have experienced this myself inside of this space. I've used a number of customer intelligence tools, not one I think that is as developed that you have brought to market here. But, you know, scroll it back a few years. The common pushback that I received when I was raving about, hey, the additional information we're getting and how we're leveraging it, common pushback is, hey man, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's moral. I don't know if it's legal. Like, should you even have all that? And I would go through, all the common explanations. But I'm pro camp. Give me as much information as possible so that I can win for the business and also give them a better experience. But man, just frame this up. When you hear, if you hear pushback like that, how do you respond to that? For me, it's mind-boggling, but I have heard it. I have heard it before.
Yeah, look, I think it's very simple. And the answer is number one, I believe personalization is a net positive for people. I don't think it's a good thing that Noah and his mother get the same email from a protein business that's sending us the same message for very different consumers. And number two, the real upshot of all this is that anything and everything Outer Signal will tell you and show you about your customers is something you can find out on your own. And so the example we like to give is if I gave, Malvin Golf an army of super caffeinated interns and said, hey, just go out and Google your customers and see what you find. That's actually a worthy exercise that if they didn't do such volume might be worth doing. And I'm sure that's going to resonate with a lot of these businesses that are listening that may have just gotten started. But we all remember our first 10 orders. Of course you Google those customers. Who the heck are they? And it's the same example I give where it's like, hey man, look, if I told you the following, my name is Noah Friedman. I live at Bleep. I'm not going to tell you my address, but frankly, it's out there anyway, right? Honestly, it doesn't even matter. 1 South First Brooklyn, right? My address is 1 South First Brooklyn. And my email is Noah at Outer Signal. You got 10 minutes, go. You'd come back in 10 minutes and be like, I know who you are. And the way that I can sell my cowboy hat or my Malvin hat or my shirt or my rowback sweater or vest to you is going to be much more effective than if you're just one of the other 50 Noah Friedmans in my zip code, right? Knowing who I am as a human is beneficial to the business. And if you hark back to the olden days of commerce, right, way before D2C was a thing, if I used to walk into Colin's store down the street, you know who I was as a person, at least enough to be able to like assume, okay, younger-ish guy, taller, you might like this type of product versus this type of product. And now we all sit behind these keyboards anonymously, and I think it's total nonsense.
I love one of the attributes that you just rolled out, and you kind of breezed over it a little quickly. And it's a huge crucial piece, which is the property value aspect of this, where you can start to push back property values. Because we previously had a guest on the show named Johnny Hickey, who's doing some really insane direct mail stuff with his customer data. And I think this is a massive opportunity that you're basically feeding back. Hey, this is going to be your net worth of a customer. Do you want to send him a super exclusive offer, a VIP offer? We can, by the way, we can bundle all of these folks together. I just think this is so crazy where this level that you're taking with honestly also direct mail too. I know you're rolling out integration as well. If you want to talk a little bit about that, but that, I mean, that is just unbelievable where, we're the same customer. I get a completely different thing, a piece of mail in my mailbox based off of who I am. Down next to the person next to me, which is unbelievable. Yeah,
we just had that play out with Mizzen in Maine, who the original founder was a friend of mine, and they were one of our early customers, and they've been a power user. Direct mail is a big initiative to them. They work with Postpilot, who's fantastic, obviously, and in the early days of onboarding into Outer Signal, we started learning more about their direct mail programs and initiatives, and it's a pretty valuable channel for them. And the question we asked is, okay, what would it look like to supercharge this? And the answer, quite simply, was that they currently or historically had to send ostensibly the same piece of creative across the board, right? It was like, what image of a male in a dress shirt can we send that is going to appeal? Because it
who can we not offend? Let's keep it. Yeah, let's keep it everybody.
Like, in the olden days of Meta, you could say the world's best lawyers and CEOs wear Mizzen, and you could run that against lawyers and CEOs, and now you can't really do that anymore. And we looked in Outer Signal and we said, well, what about these X thousand CEOs, managing directors, executives, chairmen of the board who are actual customers? And so they made a piece of creative that was hyper targeted for that audience of executives, right? The way that you're going to message a dress shirt to a junior analyst who's starting their first day on Wall Street will be very different than the way you're going to message a men's dress shirt to a CEO or an executive or an owner of a law firm, or all of these much more high level. And so they built a piece of creative for them. They ran it explicitly and exclusively against that audience of executives. And it was, you can quote me on this or go read the case study on Postpilot's website, their highest performing direct mail campaign ever by a wide margin.
Wow. Let's go, baby. And I think I'm getting the fuller picture now. This really enables personalization across all marketing channels is what it
Yeah.
sounds like. This
Totally.
this isn't just a more customizable thank you flow after somebody purchases. This enables you to do just to really layer in multifaceted personalization across everything you're doing inside of the business when it comes to messaging.
100%, every touch point. And if you think about this as the most first principle version, the way that a business should show up in a consumer's life should be different depending on who that consumer is, right? Whether you are sending them a handwritten card because they're a VIP, whether you're emailing them in a Klaviyo flow, whether you're having someone on your team reach out for a bespoke white glove experience, whether you're marketing them on Meta, on SMS, hosting an event and wanting to know which people you should actually invite because they have large followings and they're within 2 miles of one of your stores. They do all of these places should have personalized touch points that make these experiences feel delightful and magical. And these businesses have largely been forced out of necessity to say, what can we do that will boil the ocean and just be loud that's going to resonate with everybody versus what can we do to be hyper specific and targeted to the customers individually?
Okay, Noah, if you will, man, I would appreciate you just kind of walking through. So, I mean, you've hit email, you've hit direct mail. If you would just kind of just walk us through, how are people using it for influencers? How are people using it for, getting wholesale accounts? And just kind of walk us through some of these varied use cases.
Yeah, the simple answer to start is that within your entire customer base, when you turn on Outer Signal, you will be able to discover any flavor of VIP that matters to you, right? And again, in the spirit of true personalization, VIP is subjective, right? To a business that cares deeply about getting into retail, wholesale, or raising capital, VIP might mean people who run venture funds in the space that they're in. It might mean VPs of retail buying at Walmart or Target or Costco. Outer Signal can find and flag those people. For a business that is really focused on affiliates and influencer, it might mean anybody that has over 25,000 followers, period. For a business that's very focused on finding niche influencers within a certain community, it could mean verified active podcasters within a very specific category. Outer Signal can find and flag those people, right? And so this strategic customer bucket is very personal and dynamic based on the brand, and Outer Signal can absolutely custom fit basically any flavor of VIP you want. And so examples that we've had, businesses getting into Walmart because they discovered that the head buyer in their core sweet spot was a personal subscriber to the business. The CEO gets a meeting. People have gotten, Kim Kardashian posts all the way down to micro influencer strategies because they discover that all these people have followings who are already buying from them. Entire rounds of funding done because they discover that there's a ton of literal investors who are packed and hiding in the customer base, thrilled to get an outreach because the brand that they love to buy, it turns out they're raising money, right? And so everything from the old way of influencer and affiliate marketing was let's go out into the universe and find influencers and affiliates who match our vibe. They may or may not have ever heard of the brand. We're going to transact with them. We're going to ship them product. We're going to try to get the post done. It works. It's a great category. It's a great market. I would argue that the more powerful foundation to start with is who are the people who already paid you and already in your customer base who have followings, right? Talk about authenticity, right? To have somebody who is an influencer who's used to getting paid to post product and promote it, have already paid a business and get a reach out from them saying, hey, we saw you bought, we're huge fans, etc.
Yeah.
You can overhaul and totally change the way you think about affiliate marketing, right? So that's one on the influencer side. And again, the punchline there is that there's so many different permutations of what strategically valuable customer can mean. And all of those things can be natively embedded into your Outer Signal experience based on what matters to your business.
Wow. I just imagine some of these businesses, these e-commerce businesses that have developed over the past couple of years, just have ungodly amounts of data that you're going to now sift through.
Totally.
Where you're going back 1 to 2 years and you're going to say to them, hey, 2 years ago, you didn't even know that you had this guy that purchased this thing. He could have changed your business at that time had you known that. And I feel that as you say it out loud and as we're understanding this, we almost are saying, well, obviously, why would we not have this data?
Yeah, of course.
As a business owner, why am I just going to operate blind? It would be like me blindly texting customers and just not saying their name or anything. Just, oh, hey, what's up? And you're like, what? That's not how you do SMS campaigns. That's dumb.
Right. No, it's a great example. It's a great example. And I think I feel FOMO on behalf of the brands who don't have Outer Signal turned on.
Yeah.
how could you not want to know who these people are that are ordering every day, right? Like everything from the strategic lens to understand who the heck these people are, to how you should customize your email flows, to how you should market on Meta, to what key customer personas are really valuable that you may not even know about. I think it's absurd that people aren't thinking about how they can get this activated ASAP.
Yeah.
Noah, I was looking at the website. I'm perusing your pricing. Brother, I think you need a 0 at the end of all of those prices. I think you need another 0. I'm just,
I know, we're on it. You're sitting in our strategic meetings, brother. We're on it. I know. So we're acutely aware.
So this is kind of like a very, roundabout way of how all this went down. But there's a really interesting thing where Chris put on a dinner in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
One of the key speakers at that dinner was the CEO of BK Beauty. Sure. He talked about in that speech that some girl named Alex Earl ordered from him, and his interns came to him because they accidentally saw the order, and they said they're crazy. They caught this, and they were like, "You know who this is?" And he's like, "No, I have no idea,
no clue."
and he was like, "She's the largest influencer of influencers." And we discovered it accidentally. Yeah. And there was this moment where I was thinking, this is unbelievable. Why is this accidentally just happening for folks? Yeah. You guys are solving this problem now, which is huge.
Yeah. What you should have said was, hey, have you heard of Outer Signal?
I didn't know at the time.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just kidding. I think it's a perfect example of like the owner of that business. Look, it just so happened that they got lucky that the intern happened to be watching the work out, and obviously they're going to know who Alex Earl is. Think about if you're a business that's watching this is happening all day, every day for you. Yeah. You could try to make the argument that if someone that famous is going to order from you, you're going to catch it. Number one, no, you won't. Number two, how can you bet on that? And number three, what's famous to you may be totally irrelevant to who's actually relevant to your customer, right? Do you have any large TikTokers and influencers with food blogs and blogs that are relevant, and live streamers have huge, massive audiences that could be the literal paradigm shift for your business, who may already be shopping with you and you don't know about it? It's another example of why personalization is the thing. And I think it's naive for anybody to think that they're going to be able to catch themselves every valuable person, because what matters to you may matter totally differently to people who actually buy from you.
Yeah. I'm still blown away, Noah, as we're here talking. I'm still blown away thinking about being able to go backward in the brand and company's history. I mean, that is very valuable. I totally get like here forward, hey, we get the thing installed, but being able to go backward, that's crazy. I mean, you might find, certain exec, certain CEO, certain Walmart buyer that you want to get in. And actually they were a customer of yours because their kid happened to love baseball. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, that to me is like a phenomenal piece. So you guys can go backward, process all of that data and make it available.
Yes, from a strategically valuable customer perspective. And then I would also posit from a win back perspective across email, SMS, and Meta, to contemplate the fact that you have these valuable customers who may have bought 2 years ago, and you have a deep intent to win them back even 1 month ago. Hard to argue that a win back message that is hyper personalized to who they are as a human being is going to outperform one that's a generic, like, hey, we miss you, right? Yeah. And to be able to look back and say, what are the key personas of people who haven't bought in the last year? What do they care about? Who are they? And actually target that messaging from a win back perspective to the human behind the order and not just the order number. It changes the game.
And if you've got that kind of data, why not just pick up the freaking phone and call them and say, hey, you're so awesome and we love you.
Totally.
We want to give you awesome stuff.
Winning. I think I credit my good friend Aaron Febreze for kind of like being the first to build this new ad segment. But I know that one of their biggest winning ads, shout out to Nick Shackelford and Aaron Febreze for figuring this out, but they just started calling customers, right? They're good friends and we love those guys. Like, that's a perfect example of the type of thing that Outer Signal can and should power. Like, ostensibly, the type of customer you should call is going to be one that might be more valuable, right? You should be able to pick not just randomly who the last customer is, but have an actual more strategic lens to say, which customer do I want to call? I want to do this, but that's exactly right.
Wow.
So I'm thinking about this right now. Obviously, Chris knows I'm obsessed with data. I love data.
You
I'm
are.
A data nerd.
You are.
As I'm thinking about this and how you guys could build out the product, I see a road, and you can totally push back on this, where you are now monitoring in real time your customer social profiles, and you could then basically ingest that in real time and then reference that in email sendouts and say, hey, I saw that you posted about XYZ thing, XYZ thing. Now this is context, personalized, added to the email one-on-one. Are you guys thinking about building something like that out? Or are you guys building something completely different in 2026?
We're thinking about a lot of stuff. We're thinking about a lot of stuff. Look,
Nice.
I think what I can tell you is this: the depth of insight, the extent of personalization, the automated nature of what we're able to do for brands and the places we show up in their stack are going to continue to get more powerful, more embedded, and continue to make the lives of the people who operate Outer Signal not only easier, but much more efficient, right? And there's many examples of that to say, right now, if you think about how to reach out to a brand or how to reach out to a customer, there's a lot of work that goes into thinking about what should go into that email. We know what should go into that email because we know who the customer is, right? And so we are working on a lot of stuff that I'm not going to open the hood on yet that is going to make marketing a quantum leap in efficiency, personalization, and efficacy, based on the fact that we know exactly who the person is and what message is most likely to resonate with them. And I think a lot of brands are going to be really stoked to see not only what we can do for them today, but what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, they are.
Give me more data. Give me some more data. That's all I want. I want
the
more
real
data.
The real answer is make me more money. And that's
for sure. Well, you get more data, you get more money. I always believe that.
Right.
Wow.
Totally.
Well, I think that everybody that sees this video, hears this audio, should go and make this happen right now, because I think the value to price ratio here is now is the time to get in. That's what I'm saying. Now is the time to get in. Noah, for everybody that wants to, get started, talk to you, just get this ball rolling and see 500 customers. What's this thing look like, and what should they do next? What's best next steps?
They should open Safari or Google Chrome. They should go to outersignal.com and they should click one of the two buttons in the top right that's either sign up or request a demo. The demo request is going to go to someone on our team. If they specifically want to chat with me, they should just make a note and reference it. I'll see if I can get on and hop on and say hi to him as well. But I can promise you this: if you're a brand listening to this, you're not going to regret taking a call with our team or signing up to try this thing. It's pretty powerful, and I think it might change your business.
I know that's right. I actually got a text. I got a text actually just at the end of last week that was saying that from somebody who got on the phone with you.
I also got a text this week from someone who got on the phone with someone from your team. So I mean, I didn't even rehearse that with Chris. That's crazy. I'm getting inbound texts from people about this, which is unbelievable.
I love it.
No, man, we appreciate you making the time and coming on the show, and we look forward to keeping up with everything that's going to be rolling out and developing here. We hope you'll come back.
I sure will. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
I wish I had that when I was operating a business.
Brother, if we would have had that back at Bruce Bolt, and we were leveraging we were leveraging the best customer intelligence that was available to us at the time.
Sure.
But if we had that back when I was at Bruce Bolt, golly, that would have been a haymaker.
I mean, and he lays it out perfectly, where it's like, why is the influencer program, I'm going to reach out to people we think fits, I'm going to cold reach out to them. Why don't I just look at my customers already and just, hey, there's 15 people here. They each have over 50,000 followers. I'll probably reach out to them. They've already purchased.
Well, I think it's a great compliment. I think the layer that they're adding is a great compliment to everything that's going on inside of whatever our current marketing stack and endeavors are, and enables personalization in a way that I don't think that we've yet had available to us. Not that I'm aware of. I don't.
I'll be very curious what they do with that email where he was teasing a little bit. He can't share too much, but I'm telling you, I might have uncovered some cookie crumbs there.
You might have. You might have unveiled something just a little bit there. Well, we'll see. Wow, Outer Signal.
Crazy.
I've seen a number of people online. Many of my friends have been raving about them, and you get Noah on here, and you can see, wow, this guy's a real deal.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, why would you not do a free trial and just see 500 customers?
I have to say too, like I really did mean that. Man, I think they should add a zero to all of their prices.
They should.
I think they should.
Yeah,
I think
they really should.
I think they should. But hey, get in now. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, many thanks for Noah coming to the show. Before we move forward, let's talk about Seguno. You know, Seguno, ladies and gentlemen, is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What does that mean? Your emails, your reviews, your banners, all of those things. It's already there where you work and play. That's crucial because your email data, your Shopify data, they are one in the same. Your Shopify data is the data. You don't have to trust in some duct tape together integration that hopefully is genuinely representing your data back and forth. You want Shopify in 2026 to be your commerce OS. In the age of AI, that is crucial. And this is a big part why Seguno got the 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year, because of how they are uniquely deploying this inside of the ecosystem that we love. One-click automations, actual humans that can help you. If you don't have a full-time email marketer on your staff, Seguno was built for you. Lean teams with big aspirations. Go to Seguno.com. They'll give you a free trial. You tell them Colin and I sent you, they will increase that free trial to 30 days. Go to Seguno.com. Many thanks for them being part of the show. As we move forward here, Colin, Threads, interestingly, has rolled out ads globally now. Now, I don't believe that I have specifically test-driven ads on Threads as of yet. I know this is a large article. I'll just read some of it so that we can get the highlights here. Starting next week, we will begin rolling out ads on Threads to all users globally. This follows the global availability of ads on Threads to all advertisers last spring, with initial delivery to users in select markets. Threads is growing fast with more than, how many would you guess? How many users would you guess are on Threads monthly? What would you guess, Colin?
Probably 30 million every month.
400 million.
Oh, wow.
400 million. Isn't that surprising?
Who's using it?
Well, you know, essentially it's Meta's version of X is what it is. It's Zuck's, you know, it's Zuck's version of X. 400 million monthly active users connecting by openly sharing and building on each other's perspectives. Since our initial launch, we've continued to invest in more flexibility for how ads appear on Threads, as well as introducing more brand safety and suitability features for advertisers, simplified account management, more ad formats. Okay, now offers 4:5 aspect ratio for creative, carousel format, and the most recent, the ability to run Advantage Plus catalog and app ads on Threads. So there's a lot of interesting things here that I just wonder, you know, is there a little Arby's moment here, a little arbitrage perhaps? You know, especially for those that are selling internationally, is there a little opportunity here for placement inside of Threads, particularly as this begins to roll out? I hope so. It makes me want to get on Threads and actually test drive this thing and use it and see what the ads look like on there. I don't think I've even seen them there yet. I'm not a heavy Threads user. Your thoughts, Colin?
I go by one kind of, you know, synonymous thesis on this, where more ad inventory is always better, because this just means that CPMs ideally will drop. And so hopefully as they're adding more ad inventory, this is helping the end e-commerce owner. And so whenever you want to add in ad inventory, I'm all about it, baby. I love it. I love it. I'm a big fan of this.
I think there was something very interesting as just a comparison, a versus, you might say, that rolled out yesterday. I'm talking about the Burger King CEO versus the McDonald's CEO.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see this video?
Yeah.
This was compelling to me. I think everybody needs to see this.
What a beast.
Not bad, right?
Only one thing missing. A napkin.
Okay. Go take us back. Take us back, Carson. Let me give us a little context here. So we all know, or I hope you know, the story that we covered last week where the McDonald's CEO is kind of awkwardly biting into the big arch. It's
moment of truth.
Here we go.
Oh gosh.
That is so good.
I
That's
just
a
hate
big
this
bite.
video so much.
Okay, so obviously it's a little
It makes me
awkward.
feel weird, dude.
It makes you feel a little weird. Okay, he looks like an accountant, which is totally fine. I don't want to comment on his appearance in some way, but I'm just saying for the advertising aspect, he takes a small bite. He calls it a product, and people have continued to riff on this video.
Yeah.
Now there's lots of parodies of it, etc. Versus the Burger King CEO. Okay, he's got the apron on. Bring us back to that one, Carson, but don't play it, if you will. I just want to show. Okay. He's got the apron on. He's inside of what looks like a commercial kitchen at the office, one would assume. It says flame grilling since 1954 on it. He does take a big bite. Okay. He takes an actual big bite. He's got mayonnaise or whatever left on the face. Okay.
As you would.
This is like a much better, more genuine take and experience of the product itself. I think that this was really smart of them to roll out. It's even got like the shaky kind of office atmosphere feel, shaky camera. I mean, give me your thoughts on this, Colin.
It's a totally different vibe. The first vibe is McDonald's. It's the most buttoned up corporate. I'm afraid HR is going to yell at me if I laugh at this video.
Moment of truth.
It's weird. This is a weird vibe. It's a direct stand-on shot with him too. It's kind of like you got the very corporate office feel. The burger kind of feels a little like there's life's been sucked out of them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you flip to the other one. This guy's cool. He's tan. He's got a great tan going.
He is tan.
He's in the back. They kind of shoot him like just like a back behind the scenes look. He's like, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. We need a napkin. And you just feel like this is so much more genuine. And he is in the back actually with them making this, where this feels like it's been corporatized to the umpteenth degree.
Yeah, he does have a tan. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's got the apron on. He's looking cool. He makes a kind of a, quasi lame dad joke there at the end. This only needs one thing. Napkin.
Whatever.
It's like I like it though. I dig it.
I like it. Yeah.
Comes off genuine. Off genuine. There were a few comments that were made that I would say I think there's something to this. Okay. And we did make the same comment when we originally covered the McDonald's video. It's crazy how we covered that like a week ago and then it blew up afterward, probably because of us. They said, I'd like the CEO to have a little more heft, just a little more, a few more pounds, which I thought was an interesting point. Maybe they're not actually eating Burger King every day or McDonald's every day, but I think Burger King's take, great, total win. I mean, very contrasting between the two. I think more people need to do this. It's the Mac versus the PC thing. Why not lean into that? Find a competitor, find a villain, so to speak, that you can contrast yourself with and further endear yourself in lives of your customers. I think more of us should do this.
I've seen 3 wins in a row back to back for BK so far on this show. One is this CEO. The second one is monitoring conversations for sentiment analysis, which is probably what they're doing. That's a big win. That third one is the texting campaign that they did to get the actual phone numbers. Where you could call and get the phone numbers and all of that. They're doing all the right stuff right now, and it is paying off big time.
That's probably where they got the idea for this video. They were probably had Patty, their AI agent, inside of everybody's headphones, and they heard customers say, "Hey, did you see that video from McDonald's? Super lame." Maybe that's where they picked it up. You never know. You never know. Speaking of interesting products, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup has released a toothpaste. And yes, it is as wonderful as you can imagine. Look at that. In collaboration with Hi Smile, this new Reese's Peanut Butter Cup flavored toothpaste is available in Australia and New Zealand. Unfortunately for us, because we are not in the Australasia area right now. I think that this is great. And as soon as I see it, it makes me want to try it and probably makes me want to eat Reese's peanut butter cups as well. If I can clean my teeth and it tastes like peanut butter and chocolate. Why would I not try this? I know this is like out there on the edge collab to generate interest, but it's interesting, and it makes me actually want to try it. I didn't know that High Smell even had products outside of their like whiten your teeth thing. Very interesting for me. I don't know, have we jumped the shark here in brand as far as brand collabs go? My take, this is awesome, and I want to see more things like this. What do you think?
I like it. I think it's great. You know, I love good partnerships. I think it's fun. I think it's very eye-catching. I think we would have been a little bit better had we gone with another theme on this show, which is, you know, nostalgia. They should have picked a nostalgia brand from the 90s to collab with on a new flavor. Instead of Reese's, you go for that nostalgia piece. You rope that into everything else.
Like a little crest action, maybe.
Something else. We can find a good one from the 90s where, you know, like, what were those yogurt things that they had in the 90s?
Go-Gurt?
Yeah, you do Go-Gurt flavors for all of your, I don't know. We're spitballing here.
I like the weird tasting, unexpectedly tasting. I like this.
It's very Harry Potter, you know, where you would get the jelly beans and you don't know what flavor you get. And it's like, oh, this one's vomit. Delicious.
I have never seen Harry Potter nor read any of the books. No.
Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing I've ever heard today.
You know, I was, I mean, it's just a few years before my time, you know, just a few.
So in Harry Potter, there is a jelly bean product that has every flavor in the universe, basically.
Okay.
All the gross ones too. So it's got like vomit, it's got like booger, it's got all the good ones, but you don't know. You're just kind of messing around and you're just figuring it out. And you're like, oh, I just got vomit. Wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think I want to buy that bag. I don't think I want that one. I don't think I want that one. But Reese's peanut butter toothpaste, I shall take that one. Before we move forward to our last two stories, let's talk about AMP. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't explain how your business is doing in a sentence or two, where are you on your core key metrics? How are we doing on CAC? What is our 60-day LTV? Are we trending toward forecast positively? Are we up, down, left, or right? If you can't answer those things very quickly and concisely, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. Don't you want to scale with confidence in 2026? Yeah, you do. You want to save yourself a few headaches and scale with confidence higher up and further in. That's why you need to get on AMP's platform. Go to useamp.com. You test drive that new, well, it's not new, but capabilities for it are new. Favorite tool of mine, Lifetimely. It's going to allow you to answer all of those crucial, important questions about how is my business actually doing? What should I do as a result? Quickly, concisely, in one beautifully visually pleasing dashboard. All the teams of your questions, all the questions that keep you up at night are going to be able to be answered, and very quickly. Their AI is going to be prompting you instead of you prompting it. We're going to have CEO Patrick Barnes back on the show to talk about it, to put profit back inside your pocket. Go to useamp.com. Get on Lifetimely. When you do, you get all the rest of their tools for free. Go to useamp.com today. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, to wrap things up here, Colin, there is a concept of a three-way collab that I think you like a lot, that I think needs to disappear or never come into being. Okay, let's look at this. This is a Birkenstock, Nike, and Off-White conceptual collaboration here.
Let's go.
See the sandals. One can see the Nike check if you are looking close enough. I don't even know what Off-White is or how they are involved here. But give me your thoughts on this. When I saw this, I was like, no, do not reach my closet, please. But I think you've got some heat on this one.
They drop this. This will sell out in hours.
Probably.
This will sell out in minutes. This will sell out in minutes if they drop this. If they do a limited run of that, I don't think Birkenstock would ever go for it, unfortunately, because it's not the vibe of their brand. If they drop that, it would sell out in minutes.
What is Off-White? What is that?
Off-White is another clothing company that's basically around kind of the hype, the drop type of business. It was run by Virgil Abloh, RIP. He was a great designer, absolutely revolutionary designer. but he would work alongside with Nike as well.
Okay.
He did a lot of their really good pieces. So this is kind of all three of them coming together in one product, and I love it.
I mean, here's what I'll say. Anything that you can get like weird and funky on, of course,
I love it.
It's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would be dawning my feet, but I think that they would. I think this thing would go. I mean, can we go back and look at this, Carson? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Burks, love the Burks. Okay. Do Burks usually have, I don't think Burks usually have the back where that goes over your heel. Do they?
They don't, which is a great idea for them, where it's like, I don't know why they don't have this before. I think the best SKU of this, in my opinion, is probably that brown one. I don't like the black and white one. I think the tan one's okay. That brown one looks so good. Like I could just hang out with it.
Well, for your sake, I hope they debut. I would imagine they'll only go for what? Anywhere from
$500,
600 to 6,000, somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your fiance would be overjoyed to see you wear those. Okay.
Curious.
Now, that potential shoe, concepts of a shoe may never make its way out into the market. It may not ever be available, but it would be expensive if it did. I'd like to talk about getting a good deal. And Americans love a good deal, baby. Look at this offer that the St. Louis Cardinals just debuted. I'm going to read it to you. This is an all-you-can-eat ticket with the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are introducing a ticket package starting at $29, ladies and gentlemen. That includes bottomless soda. What? Hot dogs. What? Chicken tenders. What? Bratwurst. What? Nachos. What? Fries. What? Popcorn. What? The hits just keep on coming. And do not forget the ice cream, my friend. I mean, think about that. Bratwurst, hot dogs, nachos, chicken tenders, ice cream, bottomless soda. I mean, what are we doing here? Take me to St. Louis. I love this. And I will say, I did grow up going to Texas Rangers games as a young man. And this was like the primary thing I loved was, you got to sweat it out because the Texas Rangers did not have a dome at the time. Okay. It's blazing hot. You're hiding in the shade. And every now and again, it's dollar hot dog night. And those hot dogs are flowing, baby. I love this. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to drive more families and more people to show up at the park. I think this is so smart. Americans love a deal. We've been hitting on this. Don't neglect the value side of e-commerce. There's a lot. The majority of our economy is looking for a great deal. And Brewers Raptor had this to say about the offer. He retweeted this and said, I want whoever made this decision to be president of the United States. And it got just about 2 million views as a result. Your take on this? I think everybody needs to figure out how to get a door-busting, loss-leading offer inside of their experience. It's IRL. I mean, think about that. Everybody needs to figure this out and figure out how to play this into e-commerce. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an absolute home run, so to speak. This is a great move. You just want to get butts in seats, and baseball has had a bit of a downturn where it's been harder to get butts in seats. They've been changing the rules to speed up the game so that it becomes more popular. And I think this is really important. I would go to baseball games with my dad. We would go to the Orioles.
Let's go, baby.
You would go and you'd get a pretzel and you'd get a soda, and it would end up being $35. And you're like, well, I got a ticket, and then I also have to bake in. Do I want to eat food?
Yeah.
Can I afford being hungry at this game? And this is a great move. I love this. I think the MLB is starting to take notes of what the Savannah Bananas have been doing for quite a while.
They better.
And I think this is going to be a start of a trend where the Savannah Bananas have kind of laid the groundwork on what is entertainment and how it feels to bring and pack seats and make just a really memorable experience. Savannah Bananas sell out every single game, by the way.
Every game.
You can't beg, borrow, and steal your way into getting tickets. And believe me, I tried.
Yeah.
I lived in Savannah. I couldn't. I physically couldn't get tickets.
Exactly.
So the MLB has picked up on that, and they were like, what the heck is going on here? A minor league team is outpacing us completely. So I think they're taking a ton of notes, and kudos to the CEO of Savannah Bananas for setting that as the beginning to do it.
This also just makes a great point about customer experience. You
Yeah.
know, the reason that the Savannah Bananas sell out NFL stadiums
Yeah.
for their non-professional league baseball games. Why do they do that? Because they've got the best athletes on the field? No, they provide the best show. It's the best experience for fans. That's why you cannot beg, borrow, or steal your way into the stadium. You got to get on the list, and maybe you'll get a ticket or a few tickets if you're lucky. You have to win their lottery, okay? And they do all kind of things to make it such a winsome experience. And now that win for them is affecting the big boys. It's affecting the big boys. And so I think there's a lot of things to take away here on the underdog side of e-commerce. If you can provide a stellar experience, perhaps enriched by data, like we were talking about with Noah, if you can provide a stellar experience that's not just a cut above, but is several cuts above your competitors, no matter how large they are, then you are going to be able to carve a path for yourself. If you got a great product that is outstanding and you give people a real, incredible IRL experience, then you're going to be able to win. And I think there's also something on the IRL side here. To me, this just says that there is value to be had to getting people in real life, in live and living color, and experiencing you and your product and your community. You know, for the St. Louis Cardinals, to me, what this says is, yeah, why wouldn't I skip dinner and take the wife or the kids or go out with the boys, whatever we were going to do? Why wouldn't we just go to the ballpark? 30 bucks. I'm going to get unlimited food. Like, this is incredible. Like, let's go catch a game. I'm not just going to have food. We're not just going to be able to hang out. We're going to get to all of that, and we're going to be able to watch the Cards
and get a foul ball.
Exactly. And get a foul ball.
Maybe get a photo with the mascot. It's a big time thing. Maybe this is the first photo with Son's new mascot, and he's like, I get to meet the mascot now. This is huge. You get to play with the games on the screen. I mean, it's so fun. It's a blast.
This is, to me, it's signal. It's signal.
Yeah.
Valuable offer, IRL experience, and really they're like learning from the Savannah Bananas, I believe. I don't know that the Savannah Bananas have the food element that these other two, because I've never been to one. But
no, they just don't charge you tax on anything. So they eat all of the tax. So if it's $10 for a banana and a soda, it's $10. You can give them $10.
I see.
When is this rolling out? When is this rolling out for St.
For the season? For the season, opening day.
So we're going to find out next year how this is going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to watch it. And there may be more offers like this coming. I mean, I think there should be. I think there should be.
It's a great move.
Great move.
Yeah.
Pick it up, think about it, spin it around, and see how to apply the principles for your business, my friends. Many thanks for Andrew coming on the show, talking to us about acquire.com, living out the American dream on the internet in 2026 and enabling that for company owners. Love that. Many thanks for Noah Friedman coming on and telling us about everything that's happening on the outer signal and how brands can layer in personalization in everything that they're doing on their marketing stack. And many thanks to Incense and Postscript and Seguno and Amp for making this show possible. Many thanks for you tuning in. We will see you on the other side. Thanks for joining us. Catch you later.